Yeah, I would say that there's a wage gap. Not only a wage gap, but I would say like a wealth gap. And I'd say that kind of goes back to like up until the 90s, women couldn't have a credit card. Like up until 97, a man
97. A woman couldn't have a credit card.
No, you didn't let me finish that last point. Up until 97, a man could SA his wife, and it was not illegal under the law. If you were married, you could not charge a man with SA up until the year of 97. So I think there's a lot of ways that women have been institutionally oppressed. And number one, like just simply not being able to have a credit card, not being able to have your own bank account, like that kind of shit was going up until the 90s. And so a lot, like, I think marginalized cultures like are the same in a lot of ways, that it's like you've had your shit cut off for a long time. And so now you say, oh, now we're all equal, so we all have the same start. Well, it's like we started way the fuck back there.
Okay. So you're saying that the reason why women earn less and there's a wage gap is because of SA being allowed until 1997 within the confinements of marriage, and because women didn't have access to credit cards?
Yeah, I would say institutionalized financial oppression. That is the definition of financial institutional oppression.
Being a housewife used to be a status symbol. That's how we got into this mess. I've been through the history. So where women got confused is we started being told, oh, you don't have rights like a man, you can't vote like a man, you can't work like a man, you can't be in charge of your own finances. When that actually used to be a status symbol, because the poverty line was so great, to be a housewife actually was a status. To not have your own credit card, not have your own money, not have to worry about anything was a status symbol. And through history, we can see that because of the women's suffrage movement, which was valid, I'm not going to be like, but it was valid. But we got tricked right now because we're looking at it as like this demonic thing. Like, how dare I not have these rights and possibilities when really it was a status symbol and it has changed.
Okay, hang on. I mean, that doesn't really. So you didn't. Well, you still have to explain. Remember, you have to.
I mean, I know, but I'm listening to this. The question was something about voting or whatever.
No, the question was name one right or privilege that men have that women don't, outside of being able to have sex with women without judgment. Incredible. Yeah. When you're ready to answer that, let me know, and then we'll interject.
I'm so sorry.
That started with you.
I've been into this. I'm so sorry.
So that's because you made that assertion. So I'm asking you, can you name one? I mean, I'll be honest with you, there isn't really. I'll give you the answer.
I mean, you're right, there isn't, but I mean, it is what it is.
So then you're incorrect.
I guess my opinion is incorrect.
Yes.
But I stand on what the fuck I said.
So you stand on being wrong. Okay.
I stand on being wrong.
Basically, you stand on being wrong.
At the end of the day, we need men. Shit, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all want to sit here and be females and act like we don't really need men, but
no, oh my God, no.
You're wrong. Okay, and then with you, so you said that
I'm wrong
because you didn't really address what she said.
Back to the credit cards. I'm trying to hear what she got to say.
The reality, if I'm going to come to a bottom line here, the reason why women.
Run it back for me so I can remember.
No.
Just run it back.
No. We're going to move on. The reason why women earn less and there's a wage gap is because women deserve less. And the reason why they deserve less is that, don't worry, I'm going to go through this systematically. Women earn less because women are inherently lazy when it comes to resource creation. Okay? Going out, working more hours, working hard, laborious jobs, etc. This is why women, right, dominate college campuses, right? And then women... Can you please stop interjecting randomly?
We don't need ad-libs.
Yeah, we don't need ad-libs. This isn't a Jim Jones song or a Young Jeezy song from 05. So, yeah, just please be quiet. So anyway, what I was saying was women, right, earn less a lot of times because they take more vacation time, okay? They work less hours. They work jobs that are less dangerous. They are more prone to take maternity leave, etc. In general, women earn less because they deserve less most of the time. They also don't go into job fields that make more money. The top 10 jobs that pay the least, women go into those career fields. And the top 10 job fields that make the most, men go into those career fields. And 10 jobs that tend to make the most tend to be harder, more laborious, more hours needed, etc. Men are more willing to sacrifice to earn money because men understand that their value is derived from their title and how much they earn. Women, on the other hand, let's be honest, no one really gives a fuck about your title or how much money you earn or your status. Like, okay, it's cool.
I do.
That's cool. That's fantastic. But can you find a man regardless of your status?
I mean, yes.
Okay. can a man find a woman regardless of his status?
100%.
No.
I've known a lot of bum-ass dudes who find a woman.
No. That's fine.
You're missing the point.
But to be able to attract the baddest chicks,
that's not what we're talking about. You said end up with somebody. Find a woman or find a man, right?
What I'm trying to say is that a woman's status does not affect her ability to mate, but a man's status absolutely does affect his ability to mate, because women date across and above hierarchies. Men don't. Men will date down all the time. There's a reason why a man that's a king will marry a peasant and turn her into a queen. But a queen will never look a peasant's way. We are not the same. So, with that said, I say all this to build, to set it up.
Yeah.
The reason why women earn less is because they deserve less, because women don't have the same proclivity to go out and earn resources, because it doesn't affect their attraction. It doesn't affect their sexual market value. Most women would prefer to have a strong man, take care of them, be the breadwinner, stay at home, and work a job kind of on their terms, not be a breadwinner. That's what most women want. So since most women understand that, I want a breadwinner, guys go out there and work. However, how many dumb are able to get an attractive man? A bunch, right? Because men value beauty. They don't value success. Women, however, value success. So that is why men are way more driven than women to go out there and create resources. If you look at millionaires, you look at billionaires, etc., dominated by men. The highest earning individuals, dominated by men. The women that are billionaires get it through inheritance. So the reason why women earn less is because women deserve less. And it's even more pronounced because women dominate college attendance. There's more women in college, but why do men still earn them? Because to be honest, bottom line, women are lazy when it comes to resource creation.
I have a few points to touch on. Number one,
sure.
Women outpacing men in college attendance is a recent phenomena. So you would assume that then the earning potential of women to increase would then be offset by a few years, right? So women have been outpacing men in college attendance for the past 10, 15 years. So these women who are fresh out of college, they are just starting to begin their career. So we have yet to see their full earning potential. Number two, you're talking.
There's a reason for that. Women major in stupid majors that don't make money. So if I'm going to be blunt about that, women tend to major in career fields and majors that don't have a high income capacity a lot of the time.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fact that women tend to go towards more nursing fields, marketing, and these sort of fields that don't earn high income right out of the gate, whereas men usually tend to go into STEM fields and go into fields that earn them a high income in the long run. And in the meantime, they have to prove themselves, and, they have to work those long hours, as Myra mentioned, and they have to, really prove themselves, in order to be quite frank, to be able to, find a partner, because they're not going to be able to find a partner unless they are able to earn a certain amount of income, right? But the thing is, say a woman and a man are both competing in corporate America for an executive position, let's say. The man's pressure to succeed and get that role far exceeds the woman's pressure to exceed and get that role in general. Simple reason being is that the man, has an expectation in order to achieve a high income and be able to get to that position. Whereas, a woman who, on average, of course, who's going into this situation really without any pressure, right? Whether she gets the role, or that's the main difference, is the pressure, on the man's shoulders versus, virtually no pressure weighing on the woman's shoulders when in these sort of positions. So a man has to be able to succeed with all the pressure weighted on him, whereas the average woman doesn't have that same amount of pressure weighted on her shoulder. She can just go at it, and if she succeeds, then it's great, and if not, then hey, she's still beautiful, or she can try something else.
Culturally, as I said before, women are taught to wait for a man to come around.
Are women human beings, sentient, able to make their own decisions?
1,000%.
Okay, so whose fault is it if they go into a career field that makes less money and major in something stupid that isn't going to make the money?
Nobody's fault at all. And I also want to say that
it's a woman's fault. It's a woman's fault.
All right, sure.
Because here's the problem.
It's every individual's fault what they want to go into.
Bring this in, because this is the problem. Women want to be able to be equal to men, have all the same authority as men, while simultaneously not having responsibility. If you go into a stupid career field, you deserve to make stupid money. But women want to be able to go into stupid career fields, say I'm strong and independent, and make the same as a man that goes into STEM, that goes into Alaska wild fishing, that goes into offshore drilling, that goes into police, go into military, etc. And they want to earn the same. No, I'm a proponent of you deserve as much as you work for. But most women don't want to work hard jobs, let's be honest.
So can I ask you a question? Do you think a man working a laborious job, something very dangerous, deserves to make more money than a man who is a CEO who's racking in millions of dollars of profit annually for a company?
Well, here's the thing. The man had to rise through the ranks and build himself up to get to
prove
that position.
himself.
Not necessarily. Nepotism plays a huge role.
Nepotism.
Yes.
Okay.
You still have to prove
And
yourself.
also politics. You're going to put the CEO, you're going to make sure that somebody who your shareholders like, who agrees with the people who are paying the bills.
That's a skill set, though.
Yeah.
Being liked and being socially calibrated and reading the room and being able to get investors to take you seriously and getting people to respect and follow you is a skill set.
I also want to say that statistically speaking, women out-earn men in CEO positions. They have a...
So where's your wage gap?
No, I'm saying they have of making the company more money. Women who are CEOs have a tendency to make the company more money than men who are CEOs.
I would like your stat on that because
Bud Light.
Look it up.
women tend to
I
run
doubt
businesses
that.
into the ground
Come
because
on, man.
they operate on a communitarian basis, not a meritocracy.
Are we able to actually do a fact check? Because this is a statistic I know very well.
Yeah, and
So
actually,
you're
40% of women actually make up the workforce, and it's. But I will say this:
What companies are you speaking about specifically that are profiting more than?
I can't name these companies specifically. I'm just saying that I'm quoting a fact from
cosmetic and the beauty.
She done saw a list and said, "Oh well."
Women tend to out-earn men as CEOs,
but
like for the company.
Honestly, if you want to be realistic with it,
No,
what companies are females really running? CEOs, females, what are they running? They're running beauty business. They're running fucking.
Not even that.
Exactly.
Thank you, go.
Because exactly.
Well, and not only that, but I was gonna say, women actually they did a study on women that women that are CEOs. They actually did a projection to see how they would do in their long-term the career, and they actually 9 times out of 10 end up retiring and being a housewife at the end. After working.
So the way
doesn't everybody end up retiring?
No, but what she's saying is that women are more likely to leave the workforce to pursue family and children over pursuing a career. Men are more likely, because again, like I said before, men have a natural proclivity to create resources, whereas women don't. Right? I've always said, typically women work these higher end jobs as a means to an end to find a man that makes more money than them, can take care of them. Most women don't want to be breadwinners in a situation where they're taking care of the family.
Not only a natural proclivity to want to take care of somebody, but the expectation of society to have to protect and provide is on the man's shoulders at all times. Not the woman's shoulders, but the man's.
A lot more money than they do, so they can stay at home and work on their terms.
Well, I would also say that women are able to do something that men can't. Create a human life.
Okay, that doesn't refute my argument that women make less because they deserve it.
And actually, that would help the argument because once again, they take leave.
That's why they end up leaving.
Yeah, but I'm saying that having and raising your children, I would not say is any less valuable work than you going out and creating the resources to be able to provide.
What I'm saying is that women earn less.
They earn less because they deserve less?
Yes.
Well, but they just made your children. They're taking care of your kids.
So you just said, oh, well, having children is important. That's not the argument. I'm not saying that having children isn't important. It's extremely important. But the argument is simply that women earn less because they deserve less because they work less hard than men in general when it comes to the workforce. I'm not saying that having a child is a useless job. I think it's a thankless job. I think more women need to go back and have children. But let's not, be delusional here and not understand why women earn less. Women earn less, right? Because they deserve less, quite frankly. Well, that's what it comes down to.
I would say that there's a distinct difference between that statement, they earn less because they deserve less, which is where I would bring up, okay, well, we have your children, we raise them. That's something that you would pay. That's probably a priceless experience to you.
You're making an emotional argument.
Yeah, men have a lot less time. They only have
and they're less likely to actually take it.
Yeah, because they will be about that.
The point I'm trying to make here, I get what you're doing. You're trying to deflect it and make an emotional argument. Like, we're having your kids. Cool, that's fantastic. I'm not saying that's not important.
That's a very utilitarian argument, not an emotional
what I'm saying is that I'm sticking to the topic at hand. I'm simply saying that the wage gap exists not because of gender. It exists because of personal choice. And women tend to make really bad choices when it comes to making more money and being successful in general because women prioritize family and children over career, which is completely fine. But we can't sit here and say, oh, women earn less because they're female. No, they earn less because of their personal choices.
Well, wouldn't you say that men make the personal choice to go out and try and earn more money?
Damn, she does not listen, man.
Yes, but that...
So as a woman, for my family, then I would
Can I
to be able to feed your children, have your
hold on,
children.
that's
Like,
fine.
you gotta
But then
take
you
care
no
of them first.
longer deserve to be paid as much as a man who's willing to make sacrifices you're not willing to make.
I am willing to make sacrifice. If I'm willing to sacrifice my career to have your children and raise them, that's a huge sacrifice.
Did you not just see?
You're willing to make sacrifices.
Did you hear what you just said?
You're
How
willing
does
to
that
make, as a
even
man,
correlate?
Make a sacrifice to not be around your children to provide for our
Oh
family.
my God.
But
As a
understand,
woman,
he's making that sacrifice to
That's
not
incredible.
take the maternity leave because his wife or his partner who's having the baby, who is making that choice
Okay.
to be at home to raise the kid and family, he cannot be at home to raise the kid and family. He gotta go motherfucking work and pay the goddamn bills.
You guys are giving it
You know
from the
what I'm
wrong
saying?
perspective. If I'm a cold-hearted business person, I'm not gonna hire you. I would rather hire him. He's a workhorse.
Period.
You're not a workhorse.
Right.
You're gonna have a baby. You're gonna leave me. He'll stay with me for life. He'll work those 16
Again,
hour
I
days.
bring that
If
back
I
to
give-
privileges men have over women.
So that's not a privilege. That's not a privilege. A privilege is
Because who's gonna say that I have a kid? I don't
No,
have to have a kid.
hypothetically.
It's a privilege that you assume.
Okay.
Since when, here's what I never understood. Like, since when is working and having that, like I just talked about, that burden?
You're having the kid and taking the maternity leave, your man is going to work to pay the fucking bills so you could be at home
And he doesn't have that
breastfeed
choice
your
like a woman
motherfucking
does.
newborn. Do you
So-
understand what he's saying?
So let's operate on logic here, right? If I'm a business owner,
I got it.
That's
Fresh.
what I said. Just take your heart out of it.
It's very simple. No one puts a gun to your head and tells you to have a child. If you choose to have a child, that's fine. But with that is going to come potential consequences.
And nobody puts a gun to your head and tells you to provide for your family either.
No, but that's the right thing to do as a human. You know,
What?
as common sense
Are
human.
you
like, what?
serious?
That's right.
Yo,
Are
I'm
you
really.
serious?
You have a college degree, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you not see the flaw in your logic of right now?
No, I wish. Tell me. Explain it to me.
No, I ain't
If a
even.
man is willing to work more hours to provide for his family, he deserves to be paid more than the woman that's going to sacrifice working to have a child and stay at home.
You are speaking about a specific situation, right? A woman who stays home to have children, and a man.
on in general.
It's in
though.
general.
In general.
But that's-
specific.
Hold on, does the rest of you guys understand
Yeah,
where we're going
yeah.
with this?
It's
I'm the
just
only one that
here
doesn't
with-
understand this?
Yeah.
You guys understand
That's
that
crazy.
if a man is more willing to work more hours to provide for a family, that by default
That's
means
daddy.
he's willing to work harder than a woman,
But you.
so he deserves to be
Wait,
paid more.
this is the
Since when? I never understood this either. Since when is having that burden, like I just talked about, expectation and having to go out in the workforce and toil and go through the stuff that we go through in corporate America, since when is this a privilege? Like, women opted to go into these sort of environments that men would do anything if they could to get out of. And, I'd rather be at home spending time with my family, but I know I have a responsibility and a duty to go out there in the workforce and earn money for my family. So, it's like a game. It's like a game for a lot of women. It's like going out there. It's like an activity. It's fun. Many men view it as like a burden. Going out to work every day, toiling, whether you're doing blue collar work or white collar work. You know what I'm saying? Working in corporate America. So, just having to toil in the workforce is something that women just treat like it's some sort of activity, when having the privilege to actually be a stay-at-home mom is looked at as being the burden, which is just absolute insane. And I don't know how feminism was able to convince women that it's like you want to go out in the workforce and deal with this bullshit.
No, this is
We
the
do
problem.
it 'cause
When you
we
have
have
all the
to.
women understanding, when you have all the women understanding and two women trying to explain it to you and you still can't fathom it, that's
I
the
do
reason.
fathom it. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm saying that he's talking about a specific situation.
No, you're bringing it back, Faith, is what you're doing.
This is reality. I feel like you should stay in reality. I feel like you should
Hey,
stay
just shut
here
up, bro.
in
Just
human.
shut up. Just
You
shut
know
up.
what I'm saying?
Just shut up, please. If you're not gonna make actually thought-provoking comment or whatever, just don't speak. Okay, you're dumbing down the quality of the conversation for no reason. You're trying to demean her.
You're
Stop that shit.
I mean,
Stop that fucking shit.
Okay, sorry, damn. Shit.
So I just
No,
want
I'm
to
not
say,
gonna chill because you've been doing that the whole time. Stop.
I'm
Stop.
biased.
If you're gonna make a comment, make it intelligent. No, it's fine. Keep the mic next to you, but just be quiet and don't speak unless you're gonna say something that's actually thought provoking or whatever. Don't hurt the quality of the show with ad libs and stupid shit and try to make her look dumb. You are trying to. Show respect for other people on the panel. Anyway, like I was saying before,
we're good.
Yeah. Okay. We know what I'm at.
if a man's willing to work more hours and make sacrifices, he deserves to be paid more than the woman that wants to have a family.
You're using a specific situation and applying that across the board.
That's
right?
quite literally what you said.
I didn't say that men are willing to work more hours than women. I'm just saying that you said, do women deserve to make less because they do less work? My argument is that women are doing work by having and raising your children. So I don't think that they deserve to make less. I think that while a woman...
They do because they're not putting that work into the company.
That is an assumption that you are applying to women across the board. I'm saying that the wage gap exists whether or not you decide to stay home and have children. I could be a lesbian, I could never have kids, and the wage gap still applies to me, even though I'm not a mother who wants to stay at home with my kids.
Because if you actually equate hours worked, okay, if you equate hours worked, experience, degrees held, type of job, etc., when you equalize everything, the wage gap, guess what? It evaporates. It's gone.
So at first you were saying the wage gap exists because women deserve to make less, and now you're saying that it evaporates?
No. Okay. Wow. I'm saying the wage gap exists because of choice. Women make choices, correct?
Yeah. Everybody does. Yeah.
Okay. Women make choices on what career field they want to go into, what education they want to pursue, etc. Correct? Okay. Those choices directly influence how much money you make.
1,000%. Absolutely agree.
Okay.
The wage gap that I am referring to is two people who have the same job, the same position, the same amount of degrees, the same experience. One is a man, one is the woman. The woman is paid less.
That's not true. That is a fallacy, 1,000%. Because when you actually compare apples to apples, same degree, same education, same everything, it's equal. As a matter of fact, women earn a little bit more when they did this study at Google. When you actually equal everything. And then on top of that, you want to add in affirmative action, discriminatory hiring, where they prefer women over men. There's female-only job listings out there for certain career fields that are male-dominated. You will never see that the other way around. Like, I would argue women have way more opportunity and still make less because of personal choice. But when you actually equalize everything, the wage gap is gone. The reason why the wage gap exists is because they compare all working men to all working women. Well, guess what? All working men versus all working women is very vast because you have different degrees, different jobs, different hours work, different levels of laborious work, all this stuff. But when you actually equalize a man and a woman working the same job field, same experience, same degree, same everything, the wage gap is evaporated. It's gone.
And also, it's illegal to pay somebody less off of gender alone, so that would be illegal.
But this is the thing. No one wants to admit this, but I will say it. Women earn less most of the time because they deserve less. Women are lazy when it comes to resource creation in general. Are there go-getter women out there that will go out there and make a bunch of money? Absolutely. But that is a minority of women in general. Most women are not entrepreneurial-minded like that. Most women aren't go-getters like that. Most women aren't risk-takers. Most women are risk-averse. Most women prefer safety and security through a man if they can get it. And if given the opportunity, they will take that every single time over working their own job and creating their own security. That's just how it is.
I would qualify having and raising children as
you still going, bro.
Wait, for a company? How?
No, not for a company. That is just in general resource creation.
No, but that's the argument here. Wage gap with a company. How did you have a kid help me as a business owner? Please tell me. And secondly, logically speaking, if I'm a business owner, I can hire you and pay you way less than paying him. I'm gonna hire all women. What's the point of hiring men for?
Well, I mean, you got a point there. I'm gonna be real with you. You got a point there.
Why would I hire?
And I do think that you have a point too. I think that, like, across the board, like, you see many more males going into fields like executives, doctors, and so on and so forth. But I think that also has to do with culturally how women are raised. I think that we need to be raising more women, more young girls to be interested in becoming doctors, becoming corporate.
You're raising them to be more masculine. That's what that means. Which we don't need. We already got enough of you bitches. We don't need more masculine hoes, bruh. Man, bruh. You get into the workforce, you gotta be, you develop this kind of, corporate mentality, and you become, you have to take on this masculine sort of persona to be able to get by and, not let people walk all over you. And bruh, that is the last thing we need. Last thing we need is a bunch of strong, independent, don't need no man type hoes.
Because women in general are lazy when it comes to resource creation. I can't tell how many times we had girls on this show. I was in law school. I was in med school. I left though because I didn't want to do that shit. Like, women are way more willing to give up on a career field if it doesn't align with their dream, right? I can't tell you how many female artists I've spoken to that pursue more options than a celebrity male.
That's news to me.
That's why. She don't know.
Yeah, you're and here's the thing. Like, This is what I mean when I say like women can kind of go through life and not understand the male perspective on anything because men come up to you, so you don't have to give a fuck about the male perspective. But men, on the other hand, have to understand women, right? Like you can run around and say arbitrary, random things like the vibe, the vibe. I have to know what the fuck the vibe is to get laid. See, it's funny because you'll say the vibe. I have to know exactly what the vibe means. You might not even know what it means, but I have to know what it means to get laid. Men must understand women to fuck. Women don't have to understand men to get them.
I would say that women have to understand the male gaze in order to be attracted to men.
Excuse me?
Women have to, yes, the male gaze. Women have to understand what a man finds attractive in order to.
Women have to understand men to get married and to keep a man, but they don't have to understand men at all to attract them.
Agreed.
That's my point. So, for a man to have the most options, he must acquire status and resources. For a woman to get the best guy, she doesn't have to acquire status and resources. The point is, success for a man is mandatory. Success for a woman is elective.
Ding, 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 ding. Well, hey, he couldn't have said it better than me, man. That burden that we have on our shoulders to provide, we welcome it with open arms, and we have no choice. So we got to embrace it as men. But, you know, on the other hand, you got women who want to get equal pay as men. You see this a lot in sports and things like that. The results just aren't there. Women don't generate as much money in sports. Women don't, on average, and there's actual studies to prove this. Like Myron said, women don't work as hard in corporate America. Women take more days off. Men work more overtime. Men are more willing to what they got to do to get to that position. So with that being said, I think Myron was spot on. Hey, like I said, we don't need none of these strong, independent, don't need no man type hoes, bruh. Tired of you bitches, but I still love you hoes. There's still hope for some of you, not all of you, but some of you. Man, we got to do better too. Don't forget, we got to hold ourselves to a high standard too. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. I'll be seeing y'all real soon. Appreciate it. One love. Peace.